What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. In this one, I'm showing you how to make a skyscraper. I see that lighting glitch on the fourth floor. Oh, that annoys me. This is the first installment of Skyscraper, and yeah, here it is. This thing is kind of sort of tall. All of these will kind of be like, I guess, do it yourself in a way. I mean, I'm gonna show you obviously what to do, and then I'll basically tell you, like, you know, add this many floors roughly. I'll give you the number that I always am doing, but you can always add more or less, or I don't know. I don't really think there's an in-between ground. Anyway, that lighting glitch. Why? That wasn't there earlier when I was doing the grid. Anyway, with that being said, enjoy the tutorial, and I'm gonna cry at that, and I will catch you on the flip side. I fixed the lighting glitch. Anyway, here are all the materials you're needing. It is literally just 9, so if you don't want to, if it goes in one ear and out the, or in one eye and out the other, I'll show them to you in the order I want you to get them in anyway in a second. Alrighty, so the space you need for this is a 47 by 43. I thought I made it a square, but apparently that was too hard to do, so it ended up being a rectangle. Anyway, the materials you're needing, I was going to say to start off, but the materials you need in general are light gray concrete, blue concrete, gray concrete, blue stained glass, dark oak doors, polished deep slit slabs, polished deep slit blocks, smooth quartz slabs, and smooth quartz stairs, and that's everything you will need for this entire build. So, literally, starting from either the front left-hand corner or the front right-hand corner of your 47 by 43 grid golf you've made it. It really just depends on how much space you have, or how the spacing that you have is lined up. Anyway, you want to, from this, start by counting back diagonally to the, for me, right by 2, and going right, you'll place 3 light gray concrete. You'll go back with 1, and then back diagonally to the right with a gray concrete. And so it begins. You will then go back diagonally to the right from that with a blue glass. Right 2. Forward diagonally to the right with a gray concrete. Back diagonally to the right with a blue glass. Right 2. Forward diagonally to the right with a gray concrete. Back diagonally to the right with a blue glass. Right by 2. Forward diagonally to the right with a gray concrete. Back diagonally to the right with a blue glass. Then forward diagonally to the right by 2. And then forward diagonally to the right with a gray concrete. Back diagonally to the right with the blue glass. Right with the dark oak door. Right with the blue glass. Forward diagonally to the right with the gray concrete. Back diagonally to the right by 3 with blue glass. Forward diagonally to the right with the gray concrete. Back diagonally to the right with the blue glass. Right 2. Forward diagonally to the right with the gray concrete. Back diagonally to the right with the blue glass. Right by 2. Almost there. Forward diagonally to the right with the gray concrete. Back diagonally to the right with the blue glass. Right by 2. Forward diagonally to the right with the gray concrete. Forward diagonally to the right with a light gray concrete. Forward 1, and then right by 2. And that's the sizing of the front. You can extend it a little bit if you want. Also, if you have a window that you don't want to be a window, block it off with maybe polished deep slit. You could even use blue concrete, I guess. Pick a block, because I mean, I do realize there will probably be one wall where you have another skyscraper essentially right up against it. So I mean, technically you could even not make that wall, because you don't need to make it if it's just going to be blocked off by another wall anyway, because you could just basically connect the two and then create one divider wall for the inside. And then maybe you'll have an alleyway or something where you just don't want windows. Then, you know, any really window you just want to replace just the glass. Don't really change anything else. Anyway, each blue glass and or gray concrete will be brought up by 5. Hopefully everyone is having a good day or night. I am for the most part. Here's how the skyscrapers will work, pretty much in general, though there will be some exceptions once I get weird with them. Also, note, bring the door up with 4 blue glass, forgot to mention that. But basically, I'm going to do the bottom floor, and then I'll do 2 more floors, and then I'll basically tell you to just copy those 2 floors repeatedly for the number that I give you, or you could change it. I'm just gonna give you a number just because, but you don't necessarily need to use it. If you think mine is too short or too tall or something, then, you know, feel free to change it. But anyway. Just like this. You should have something like this. What? So you're going to kind of have 3 places you can kind of place a block off on these top 2 rows of blue glass. On the left and the right, which just includes this diagonal one, by the way, which I'll show you in more detail there. On the second row down on the left and the right, you're placing an upside down polished deep slate slab, and then in the middle top block, you're placing just a normal polished deep slate slab. It'll kind of give you this little, like, fancy effect. It just makes the windows a little more interesting to look at. On the diagonal, it is, again, you just have 3. You're essentially ignoring the fact that it's slanted and placing it like it was still front-facing. Nothing crazy. Just like this. I think we'll start by building up just the front. That seems like a fair thing to do. So, on top of each top gray concrete, you want to place 2 blue concrete. You then essentially want to connect those all together, making sure that you stay just 1 row in front of the blue glass at all times. And I guess up as well, but we're going to ignore that part. And then, essentially, like when you hit the diagonals again, you're just going to go in by 1, and then it'll go diagonally by 2. Depending on which way you go from, it does have the same thing happening, technically speaking. Oh, you can just place it on the... I'm dumb, never mind. Oh well. Just like this. You will then place off the bottom row of blue concrete a row of smooth quartz slabs, and off the top row a row of upside down smooth quartz slabs. Make sure you don't really do anything fancy with the diagonals. Just kind of leave them as just 1 block. You don't want to do the thing you usually do for modern houses if you've built any of mine before. Why I like do this. You don't want this. You just want the straight diagonal. Now, if you look at this from a top-down perspective, you essentially want to take the back row of blue concrete, and you want to do a similar pattern to what you did below. However, we're going to change it just for 1, ease of access, and for 2, because we have to do this anyway, so you might as well just do it now. Going, again, left to right or right to left on top of it, doesn't matter. Place gray concrete, 3 polished deep slate slabs, gray concrete, 3 polished deep slate slabs, gray concrete, 3 polished deep slate slabs, and you want to keep doing this pattern, and you're going to keep doing this until you go all the way and reach the other side of the skyscraper. That's a blue concrete. That is not what I meant to place. I'm going to place all of the grays and then all of the slabs, I think, just because I find that easier. Kind of like this. We'll worry about the light gray concrete sides later. Don't worry about those. I did not forget yet. You will have a row of like blue concrete or like an opening here at the front. We'll just fill this in. I had to figure out how to get rid of that somehow. I thought I would actually like having the floor slant or the windows slant, but I was like, that's just gonna be weird. Anyway, now it's basically the same as the bottom floor. It's just flat. Each gray concrete you can bring up by 5. And then you're going to kind of fill in the back with blue glass. I recommend using a /fill command for this. It makes your life a lot easier. Because if you don't use /fill for like a build like this, it's just going to take forever. I'll go over everything as you should do it. So basically, again, I go a block back, and I'll just place a placeholder behind this end polished deep slate slab. Stand on it, copy that coordinate, which however you may be, or however you may do that. And then if you go to the opposite side, and I would place one kind of in diagonally from the second block down, stand on it, do /fill, 3 tildes, which is your current coordinate, copy that other one in, preferably with a space in there. I kind of forgot about that. And then you will do blue _ stained _ glass, and if you enter, it will do that. It will fill behind the gray concretes, obviously, but that doesn't really matter. So, again, kind of to clarify what I did, because I didn't really directly state it, I just placed blue glass behind the gray concrete. Or, like, basically a block back. And then you're going to do that same thing with the little fancy, like, notches here. So, again, on the second blue glass down on either side, opposite down polished deep slate slab. Off the middle top one, it's a normal slab. If you do have a non-window section, I would still add this. As in if you're filling it in with, like, blue concrete or something. Still add that, because I think it will create a good pattern. Now, I'll go one more step as to doing kind of the front, and then we're going to move to the left and right, and kind of probably do them simultaneously. On top of each gray concrete, you're placing 2 blue concrete, and then you're connecting them together. Same thing that you did on the bottom, it's just a flat row this time instead. There's nothing going crazy. And then again, you'll do the same thing with the smooth quartz slabs. Off the bottom row of blue concrete, a normal row of smooth quartz slabs. Off the top, an upside down row. I guess it's still technically normal. I hate to say normal when it's just, like, they're both technically normal. Anyway, you should have this. That second floor right there is going to be copied. Now, for the sides, if you want to do the same amount, you can. Apparently, I'm really bad at counting, because I did not do the same amount of windows. I believe I did 1 less, because this is 9. I'm pretty sure I did 8, I guess. So anyway, on both the left and the right, you will go back from this furthest out light gray concrete by 2, in by 1, in diagonally back with a gray concrete and then a blue glass, back with 2 blue glass, out diagonally back with a gray concrete, in diagonally back with the blue glass, back 2, in diagonally back with a gray concrete. And you want to keep doing this until you have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I was right. 8 of these kind of blue glass rows of 3. I believe there will end up being 9 gray concrete pillars, just because that's how framing of things works. You usually will have 1 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And you want to do this on both sides. So I'll kind of give you the overhead ordeal of that. If you want to go copy it. If you want to add the light gray concrete pillar on the back as well, you can. Yeah, might as well. Essentially, from this back gray concrete, you'll go out diagonally back with a gray concrete. Light gray concrete, excuse me. Out 1, back 2, into, forward 1. And again, on the other side, I'm going to speed run this side. Since I have my grid, I can kind of just do it like this. I don't really need to be switching between the two. And again, slash fill will be your friend. And then the back, you're just kind of connecting in a similar way. Essentially, from either, like, end... The final light gray concrete you place, you'll go in diagonally forward with the gray concrete, and then with the blue glass. And then in with 2 blue glass, and then etc. You should know the pattern at this point. It's nothing really crazy that we're doing here. And again, we'll save the pillars for after we finish the base walls. So your layout should look like this. Now, as I mentioned, again, use/fill. You're going to, if you would like to just get both floors out of the way, you can. I'll just kind of do like a touch-in, or a check-in, I guess, between floors. But essentially, each gray concrete, each blue glass, up by 5. I almost said 4. And then once you have done that, you also want your polished deep slate slabs and everything in. And then from there, it will be time for the second floor. So, you should have something like this. Now, if you have the blue concrete and smooth quartz slabs, good job, you're a step ahead. You're just gonna kind of bring it around town. I had to make the SpongeBob reference, I couldn't help myself. And you're just going to kind of go over again everything with the 2 rows. I would make it a square, although you don't technically need the corners. Just if you place the corners, don't put the smooth quartz slabs. You just want to end on the gray concrete. You don't really want that extra block. So I guess maybe you don't want to add it. Because it technically doesn't really do us any good. Maybe I'll add it, maybe I won't. Or maybe I'll just, like, do both. I don't know. You'll notice with these skyscrapers, they're going to get pretty repetitive pretty quickly. Some may be a little different, but for the most part, it's going to be the same thing over and over again. Just because that's how I build them. Let's build a city moment. Anyway. You'll have something sort of like this, hopefully. Could be a little different, but... Now, the next big thing is you want to make the next floor. Now, again, this floor is basically the same as the first floor. It's just you have a row of polished deep slate slabs kind of covering up the blue concrete that will be technically where the floor is. But it is the same pattern of gray concrete, 3 slabs, gray concrete, 3 slabs. Making sure that you do start on each row of blue concrete with the gray concrete. And again, making sure that you don't go onto those corners if you have them. Make sure that essentially your gray concrete will be diagonally touching. It needs to be 6 tall. And then I'll go over this floor one more time. And then I'll tell you how many times the structure block it. Once we do the light gray concrete after the 3rd floor. Which you don't have to actually do the 3rd floor, if you don't want. You could just, like, wait for me to do the light gray concrete, and then just structure block everything. Doesn't really matter. And then you need your blue glass after this, and then everything is good. And again, I will give you a bit more details on the next one. Along with how to structure block it. That's going to be a big part of these tutorials, which I'm sure eventually, for those of you who are going to follow more than just this first one, you're going to get bored of hearing, here's how you use a structure block, and here's how you do a /fill command. I know a lot of you do know, and a lot of you don't know, and just for people who are new to a tutorial like this, I do want to just ramble on about that for a minute, just so anybody knows, so they can keep up with me. Because I mean, obviously you don't have to do commands, it just makes your life a whole lot quicker. Especially when you start to learn some of the, like, tricks and stuff you can do. And then again, 2nd row down on either side, upside down slab. Top middle is normal slab, which will create a little bit of a fancy pattern. But yeah. Essentially, my thing is, how do I make the tutorial not 4 hours long? And how do I also make it so that it's easy enough to follow, even if you have negative experience with things like a structure block. They're pretty easy, I think, once you break them down. They can look a little daunting, but... And then guess what's next? The blue concrete and the smooth quartz slabs. Which just goes right over the top again. Nothing crazy. It is a very basic build. I wasn't really, like... I wasn't adding, like, a bit of detail on every single, like, window and every single, like, block, you know? Just kind of get a rough shape down. As long as it looks good and does its job, which, in this case, is standing there and looking at least semi-okay. I can't really say looking good because, well, that's subjective. I mean, I guess I can say that about my own build, but I would feel bad being like, and looking like the greatest thing you've ever seen in your life. Like, no. I'm not that guy. I'll praise my own build sometimes, but not these. Anyway, guess what? Do it again. So, if you want more context, if you don't have these corners, you'll take the first blue concrete on each wall. Place, I guess just on top of it, 6 gray concrete. Let's change it up a little bit. Right of the bottom, gray concrete, 3 polished deep slate. Gray concrete, 3 polished deep slate, gray concrete, 3 polished deep slate, gray concrete, 3 polished deep slate slabs, not blocks. I'm sorry if that threw anybody off. Gray concrete, 3 slabs, gray concrete, etc. And you're gonna keep this pattern going until you end on the final blue concrete with a gray concrete. And then bring each gray concrete, except for that first one, up by 5, since you already did do that technically. You just don't know it. Or you do know it. Frame all the sides if you want like this. Might as well just get it out of the way first. I made that one too short. Don't ask how I noticed, I just did. I build too much. Guess that wasn't clear. By the way, you'll get another skyscraper, but it's not technically a skyscraper. It might be out at this point, but I don't believe it will be, since I don't have any plans of recording it yet. It's the Little Nightmares signal tower. Small scale. I'm not building the, like, 250 block tall one. It's like 100 blocks-ish, I think. I don't know. Anyway. If you have any other tutorial suggestions, do let me know. You probably... I will do these every once in a while, but I'm not gonna, like, go crazy with the amount that I post. Because I want to start another, like... I guess sub-series is the right word. Yeah, tutorial sub-series. Which somebody requested I do a little while ago, and I haven't really gotten anywhere on it yet. But hotels is what it will be. Hotels and apartments, maybe. Because I have made an apartment. I think it's around here. No, it's not around here. It's on the other side of the city. And then again, a block inside of everything, you're placing your blue stained glass, which you can do with a couple fill commands. If you actually, like, take it from one corner, you can do 2 walls at once. If you just do, like, you know, each wall, I guess, that comes out from that corner. Just makes your life a little bit easier doing it that way. And then if I take this corner, I can do the last 2 walls. It's pretty simple. Again, just little tips like that do really speed up the process. LN2 is always a funny example to look at with things like that, because I started structure blocking things and, like, using commands and all this stuff rather than just building everything by hand, and it sped up the process for the last 3 chapters detrimentally. Anyway, and then you're doing the same little thing. So, second row of blue glass down on both the left and the right of each panel, upside down polished deep set slab. Middle top block, normal polished deep set slab. So you're essentially just doing a little zigzag motion with your mouse and or joystick on each one as you move to the side. Ah, I knew that was gonna happen. Try to be cool and do it fast. Unfortunately, my brain can't process whether or not I'm placing them right or not quick enough to just keep moving. Ah, I almost did it. Ah, oh my goodness. And then you should have this. Now, you can technically get away with not adding the blue concrete again, depending on how things go. I am going to add the 2 rows of blue concrete. So again, from each gray concrete, you're placing 2 blue concrete on top of it. And then you're connecting the blue concrete together, so it just goes across each side. I would recommend not the corners, even though I did kind of say the opposite to that earlier, but shh, it's fine, no one has to know. It'll essentially round off your build, not that that's really the intention that we're going for by doing this, but whatever. The walls are rounded without the pillars, which square it off more. And then you want your smooth quartz slabs, a normal row off of the bottom row of blue concrete, and an upside down row off the top row. So again, if you're a gamer and you feel like it, you can build the whole thing manually and just do each floor. However, I'm going to give you the old structure block lesson once we do the light gray concrete pillars, because we do need those. Those are important. Also, I realize there's a weird thing with the offset of a structure block. It always is at -1 for some reason. I'm going to leave it like that, because I'll tell you where to place it specifically. Well, I guess it depends on a lot of things. Now we have the roof to do after that. Pretty nice. The roof will be a little bit annoying, but it is what it is. Anyway, you should have this. Perfect. Now, for the light gray concrete, you will take essentially either row of 2 light gray concrete and extend it up till it's the height of your skyscraper itself right now, which will be up to there. And kind of leave the, like, corner open right now. You're just doing basically the parts that connect into the actual build like that. The also kind of outer corner here you will bring up to the same height. Like so. And you will do this with every pillar. Just kind of like this. Certainly a weird way to do it, but oh well. It's like 25 or something. It's definitely not 25, but wait, let me count. It's 23. I was a little bit off. I tried to like count it as I was quickly placing and it just didn't work. Because that's not how counting works. At least for me. Anyway. And then once you have that, it's one more thing to do for these pillars, and then we can start to get to the structure blocking. You can either do 2 floors at once or 1 floor, although that will make some weird adjustments to how you're doing everything, so you'll have this. Now, you'll take the inner row of each pillar, basically the direct center, and just fill it with blue concrete. Like so. Then you will take where your smooth quartz slabs are on each floor and essentially kind of pull them through and into this pillar. So you can see if I'm highlighting this is at, well, roughly 13 is at least what I'm at. And I'll just trace this through and place a smooth quartz slab here and then an offset on one there. And you will do this on every pillar again. The top is easy. You know exactly where it is. And then, yeah, we'll be done our bottom 3 floors. And then we can structure block a lot. Kind of like this. I'll show you what the front will look like. The front will look like this for now. That actually doesn't look bad at that height. Like, obviously I feel like it should be taller, but it doesn't, like, look like it needs to be. I don't know, I guess it would need a roof at this point. Although we'll kind of ignore that fact for a minute. One more pillar, and then that's 4. There are, in fact, 4 corners. We'll get some weird shapes in here, by the way, later. For some of them. Because this is just a square. With a little bit of an angle on the front. A square with extra steps, basically. Anyway. You'll have something that looks like this. Get rid of, I'll say, what do I even, I guess dark oak door, and you want to get out a structure block. I have one. If you don't, you want to do /give at s structure underscore block, and there. Now I have 2. I don't really think I need to. So I'll just clear this one then later. You want to find what corner your structure block will work at. I'm going to use the grid actually for this. So if you see if I place it right here, nope, because it's going outside my grid, which is essentially it's away from the build. So I'll need it on this corner over here, which is the front right. And you'll essentially find a point. I'm going to do 1 floor at a time. So I'm going to take the light gray concrete just above these upside down smooth quartz subs on the 2nd floor, and I'm going to break it and replace it with the structure block. And then for basically going across the front, if you just like walk kind of across the front here, or whatever side you will pick first, which should be either the back or front. For me it's X, it might be Z for you. So you'll take whatever that one is, and you see I have an X here, which is the first coordinate, and you will make it, I believe it's 43. Yes, it is 43. And then if you walk kind of front to back here, it will be, you'll see it's on the Z. So the Z should be, I believe it's 39 again. Yes, it's 39. And then the height, you can technically make it as tall as you want. It's like, is it 10 or something? It's 9 if you want the specific height. Just like this. And then you can save it as whatever you want. I just always save it as G, because that's the button that the PlayStation controller would default to. And I don't know, it's just nice and right there. And then you'll break this and replace it on the pillar. And then you'll just go on top here and place it and go to mode load and pop in whatever your name was and then load it. It will kind of like almost override that bottom row of it, but it's fine because you already have it placed. And then every time you do this, you will have to break the structure block and replace it with a light gray concrete. That makes it 4 floors. You want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 if you are following my height. Although you can do whatever you really want. So this will be 5. This will be 6. This will be 7. I think you get the point. I can count. Make sure you do like note that the bottom floor is counted in that number. It's 13 in total. Not plus 13. Should be 9. I can kind of just like peek over at my other build. If I'm way too short or way too tall, I'll know that I'm wrong. There should be 10 though. And then 11. And then 12. And then 13. And yes, this is in fact correct. So you'll have this essentially. Whoa, that looks pretty weird from this angle. Now, for the roof, I didn't bring it all the way up to a peak. I just brought it up enough to where it made a difference from the floor that you could see it. However, I didn't really want it that high. So, to start, you want to take really any of the light gray concrete pillars, and you want to place a polished deep set on top of the outer corner of it. You'll bring it out by 1, and then you'll take this polished deep set and essentially ring it around this top floor. And it wants to make sure that, oh my god, you want to make sure that it stays outside of everything by just a row. Specifically with the pillars, you're making a rectangle, I guess. It's not a square, because I can't make squares, apparently. But you're just staying right outside the pillars, and you will have a little bit of a gap between you and the base walls themselves. I did word that horribly originally, I apologize. Can you, like, do the thing? So it'll look like this from an overhead. I would advise filling in these gaps here with more polished deep slate. And then you want to start by going just outside from this polished deep slate here. And you want to place polished deep slate slabs going around the base. Kind of like this. And you will need the corners to be sharp for this, unlike what we did before on the first floor. And you'll go all the way around your build. Whoa. And this will end up taking you to the edge of your grid in case you have it. If I stand right here and look straight down, I am on the corner. It's kind of hard to tell because I'm like 90 blocks in the air. But anyway. And then on your original row of polished deep slate, you will place polished deep slate slabs on top. This won't make sense right now, but this counts as 2. Just keep that in mind. Inside of that, you want to place a row of polished deep slate blocks from those slabs. And then bring those blocks up with polished deep slate slabs. This will count as 3. Maybe you can kind of see the pattern that we're going with here. So this number 3 you want to turn into, I don't have the number off the top of my head, give me 1 second. You essentially want to keep doing this until you have like a lot of these. So like that 1 row of slabs does count as 1. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. You will have 15 of these inclines. So 1 is here, 2, 3, and then if you just come somewhere in the middle, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And yay, I'm in line. And then you will bring this all the way around your roof on all what should be 12 more rows from what you already have, since I did tell you to make 3. And I'll catch you when we're there, because this might take a minute. So now you should have something that looks like this, I think. The final step, or I guess technically two final things. You want to take this top row of polished deepslate under these slabs here, and just inside you want to place smooth quartz stairs that face towards the middle. Just like this. And then I filled in the middle of the roof in with blue stained glass. You may want to change this depending on how you end up having your, like, inside. But I think the blue glass does add some nice lighting. But again, you might have something weird going on the inside where you can't do this. Or it won't be leading anywhere. So if it's not, I would just use like gray concrete or something. And anyway, once you've done that, ladies and gentlemen, that is your Skyscraper, the first installment, yay, complete. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys did enjoy this, let me know what you guys think of this build in the comments down below, and if you have any other suggestions or anything. And, yeah, that being said, have a fantastic rest of your day or night, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.